Hello everyone. I hope you're having a good week so far. I'm gonna wait just a few minutes till we have a few more people on because we have very exciting news for you today. So in the meantime, how about we play a little game? For those of you watching live on Facebook, if you are from the East Coast, drop a thumbs up in the comments. If you're in the middle part of the country, how about you throw me a heart? And then if you're on the West Coast, why don't you put a laughy face in the comments? Let's see where everybody's from. While we're waiting for a few people to come on, you may recognize this handsome face. Yes. This is Jim Daly, and he is our Director of Operations here, and we have a product launch for you. We're very excited. But let me back up for a sec. For those of you who have followed us for a while, thank you, and we appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying this journey as much as we are. And for those of you who are new to EO2 and the OxyGenie system, we have a portable oxygen generator that connects to our proprietary dressings. And this little oxygen generator will convert the room air from 21% oxygen down to the wound, where it supplies 100% oxygen. So not only does this little guy provide full wound closure, full epithelialization, but also pain control. So thank you again. If you haven't had a chance to follow us yet, you have that opportunity once we're done. So, shall we do it?
Let's do it.
Shall we announce this?
Let's announce it.
We're excited. So we pride ourselves here at EO2 to listening to our customers. And one consistent piece of feedback that we kept getting is you need a larger dressing. So we had our 2x2 and we have our 4x5. So both of these come with and without adhesive. This is the non-adhesive version. So you can use any sort of your adhesive of choice on these to place it down. But now, drum roll please, we have our 5x7 dressing. So you can see this is much bigger, a 75% increase in surface area. And I wanted to bring Jim on. Jim, why don't you tell us a little bit about your amazing team and the dressing?
So what we did when we work, and everybody was asking us, come out with something bigger, and to do that, it's difficult. You have to make sure you're getting proper oxygen diffusion. You have to make sure your absorption is correct. So on the 4x5, it's a 4.5 millimeter foam, a single spur in the center that helps with distribution over the foam layer. On a 5x7, what we did is we reduced the foam thickness. We went from a 4.5 mil to a 4 mil foam. And it does two things for us. It helps us with distribution of the oxygen, but it also makes a dressing at this size a lot more flexible. So the 4x5 is a little stiffer in the size, but when you go big, we didn't want to go real thick to make it difficult to use. So this way here, you can wrap it around quite easily. Then we went with a dual spur. So we put 2 spurs in this one so that we get the diffusion across the whole dressing.
What do you mean by spurs?
By spurs is the punch. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a punch out that looks like a spur right in the center of the dressing, right in the center of this one. There's 2 of them on this one. The tubing is perforated at specific points throughout the dressing, so it goes all the way through, but there's perforations at the spur to help the oxygen diffuse out to all corners of the dressing.
Yeah, and actually, and let me know if I'm doing a good close-up, but where my finger is, it's a good example of what that spur looks like inside. So there's multiple layers of foam, and that's what the spur looks like in the middle part of the foam.
Right.
Yeah.
So we actually measure the diffusion of oxygen throughout from corner to corner of the whole dressing. And the oxygen has to diffuse through the dressing at the same time and rate as it does for all of our dressings. So that's what it took a little while to develop the dressing, but now we're ready with it and we're going out with it. Absorption, we use a free swell absorbency testing on all of our dressings. So we came up with this one. The 4x5 is about a 4 ounce, and this 5x7 is around a 7 ounce absorption rate.
So that's how much fluid each of these dressings. So our larger dressing before, our 4x5 dressing, will absorb up to 4 ounces of fluid.
Yeah.
And this dressing, the 5x7 dressing, which is available today, is going to be able to absorb up to 7 ounces.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference.
Big time.
Big difference.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. So one interesting point about the 5x7, it only comes in our non-adhesive, and that was strategic because if you've used oxygen therapy, continuous diffusion of oxygen therapy for a while, you'll know that as the oxygen starts to penetrate into the wound, you will see an increase in the amount of exudate. And that's totally manageable, but it's something that is a bit of a learning curve for our new customers. So with regards to this dressing, we wanted to make sure that the non-adhesive version would give you the flexibility to be able to use whatever adhesive that you wanted to be able to keep this in place. Now, what kind of wounds would this be perfect for? The resounding result from our polling of our customers was we want something to be able to use on abdominal wounds. We want something with higher absorbency that we can use on sacral pressure ulcers, on larger venous ulcers, arterial ulcers. Because again, the benefit of this oxygen therapy is that it's great for wound closure, but also pain management. So you can put this under compression. You can use this in offloading boots.
Preferred on compression.
Yep, absolutely. So really the flexibility of this larger size is going to be great. We've also heard from some surgeons with regards to burns. Can we use this on burns? Yes, that makes sense. So we're super excited about this larger dressing, and it's available today. We can ship it out today.
The thinner foam doesn't do anything as far as absorption. It doesn't affect absorption. You see the thicker one that you think it's going to absorb more. It really doesn't. The thinner foam is going to help absorb quickly, but then the diffusion layer and the super absorber is going to take over. So you're going to get a higher rate on a 5x7 than a 4x5, but you can hold a significant amount of fluid with this 5x7. So hopefully you won't have to change it as frequently as, say, the 4x5. And that was another goal we were going for.
There you go. Yep, and that's a good point. So with more exudative wounds, if they were using the 4x5, you may have to change it more frequently, multiple times a week, whereas you may be able to just change it once a week when using the 5x7.
Correct.
These engineers, I love them. I love them. So that's our big announcement, and we're excited. Now there are some more things in the pipeline, aren't there? Don't talk about them.
We're always looking at new dressings, and there are a number of things in the pipeline, but like I said, they take a long time to develop and validate and prove out and test on all of our...
You're working on it.
But we're working on some very interesting things that we're going to be coming out with, hopefully by the end of the year. So it should be nice.
And beyond. So what that means is, if you haven't done it yet, like and share this video for us, and then make sure that you follow us on social media. Yes. We are all over LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram and obviously Facebook. Make sure you follow us because there's a ton of new research coming out, very exciting research from leaders in the industry we're extremely excited about. And it's going to change the direction of this therapy in this industry. So we are extremely excited. So make sure to follow us and you'll stay up to date with all of our new announcements. Thank you so much for your support so far, and let us know if you have any questions. All right. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Have a great day.